What if you had a roadmap drawn from ancient wisdom that could guide you to peace of mind, resilience, and a truly fulfilling life? For centuries, a philosophy called Stoicism has been offering profound answers to life's toughest questions. It's not just about lofty ideas but practical tools that anyone can use to transform their mindset and navigate life's challenges with clarity and purpose. In this video, we're diving deep into 50 timeless Stoic rules that can help you not only survive but thrive in today's fast-paced world. From embracing what you can control to finding joy in life's simplest moments, these principles hold the power to reshape your perspective and unlock a deeper sense of happiness. So stay with us, because by the end, you'll have a treasure trove of actionable insights to apply every day. Let's begin this journey into the wisdom that has stood the test of time. Now, turning to the first rule, focus on what you can control. This principle lies at the very heart of Stoicism. The idea is simple yet profound. There are things in life you can influence and others that are completely beyond your grasp. The key to inner peace is learning to distinguish between the two and directing your energy only toward what you can control. For example, imagine receiving harsh criticism from a coworker or a friend. You cannot control their words or opinions, but you can control how you choose to respond. Instead of letting negativity consume you, focus on maintaining your composure and reflecting on whether their feedback contains valuable insights. Similarly, when faced with unexpected events like bad weather or a traffic jam, instead of spiraling into frustration, remind yourself that these are external factors you cannot change. What you can control is your attitude, perhaps using the extra time to listen to an inspiring podcast or practice patience. To apply this rule daily, start by pausing whenever you feel overwhelmed or frustrated. Ask yourself, is this within my control? If the answer is no, let it go and direct your thoughts and efforts toward areas where you can make a difference. This simple practice can transform how you navigate challenges, bringing clarity and calm to even the most chaotic situations. With the foundation of this principle in place, let's move forward to the next essential Stoic rule, which is all about embracing the present moment. Now, turning to the next essential rule, embrace the present moment. In the fast-paced world we live in, it is easy to get caught up in regrets about the past or anxieties about the future. However, the Stoics remind us that the only time we truly have is the present. The past is unchangeable and the future is uncertain, but the present moment is where life unfolds and where you have the power to act. This rule encourages you to fully immerse yourself in whatever you are doing right now with your full attention and intention. One way to practice living in the present is through mindfulness. For example, the next time you take a walk, resist the urge to zone out or check your phone. Instead, focus on the sensation of your steps, the sound of the wind, or the warmth of the sun. This simple exercise can center your mind and help you appreciate the beauty of the moment. Another valuable practice is cultivating gratitude. Each morning or evening, take a moment to reflect on what you are thankful for, no matter how small. It could be a kind word from a friend, a delicious meal, or even the comfort of a warm bed. Gratitude shifts your focus from what is lacking to what is abundant in your life, anchoring you in the present. By embracing the now, you not only reduce stress but also enrich your daily experiences. Remember, as the Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius said, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength. With this lesson in mind, let's move forward to explore another transformative Stoic rule, the practice of negative visualization. Now, turning to the practice of negative visualization. This Stoic technique invites you to imagine worst-case scenarios, not as a way to dwell on negativity, but to cultivate resilience and deepen your appreciation for what you have. By confronting these possibilities in your mind, you prepare yourself emotionally and mentally for unforeseen challenges, making them less overwhelming if they do happen. For instance, consider the simple act of losing your wallet. Visualize the frustration, the inconvenience, and even the potential loss of important items. Now, reflect on how you would handle this situation calmly and constructively. This exercise not only equips you to face such events with composure, but also makes you more attentive to safeguarding your belongings in the first place. Another example could be imagining the loss of a cherished relationship. While this thought may feel uncomfortable, it reminds you not to take people in your life for granted. It nudges you to express your gratitude, be present, and invest in your connections while you still have the opportunity. Practicing negative visualization doesn't mean dwelling on gloom and doom. It's about fostering strength and perspective. It helps you recognize the fragility of life and paradoxically enhances your ability to savor it. As the Roman philosopher Seneca wisely noted, he robs present misfortunes of their power who has previously considered their coming. So, take a moment in your day to quietly reflect on the uncertainties of life and embrace this practice as a tool for growth. With that in mind, let's explore another profound Stoic principle, the understanding of life's impermanence. Now turning to the understanding of life's impermanence, we delve into one of the most profound teachings of Stoicism, the concept of memento mori, or remembering that you will die. While this might sound somber, it is, in fact, a powerful reminder of the preciousness of life. Acknowledging mortality allows you to reframe your perspective, focusing on what truly matters rather than wasting energy on trivial concerns. Imagine standing on the shore, watching the waves roll in and out, each one unique yet fleeting. Life, like those waves, is transient, beautiful, but temporary. By keeping this in mind, you can make more intentional choices about how you spend your time, who you spend it with, and the legacy you wish to leave behind. For example, think about the small arguments or grudges that often consume our energy. When viewed through the lens of life's brevity, these conflicts seem insignificant. Instead of holding on to resentment, you might choose forgiveness and compassion. Similarly, this reflection can inspire you to express your love and gratitude more freely, ensuring the people you care about know how much they mean to you. The Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius often meditated on mortality, not to foster fear but to inspire focus. He wrote, "You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think." By keeping this awareness at the forefront of your mind, you gain clarity and purpose in your daily actions. Life's impermanence isn't something to dread. It's a gift that encourages you to live fully and authentically. So embrace this Stoic practice of reflecting on mortality, not as a source of anxiety, but as a guide to prioritize relationships, pursue meaningful goals, and cherish the moments that make life extraordinary. With that perspective in place, let's move forward to explore the importance of cultivating inner virtue over external success. Moving forward, we arrive at the profound Stoic teaching on cultivating inner virtue over external success. At its core, Stoicism teaches that the true measure of a fulfilling life isn't found in material possessions, public recognition, or social status, but in the virtues you develop within yourself. Wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance, these are the pillars of a meaningful existence according to the Stoics. Imagine someone who has amassed great wealth but lacks integrity or self-control. Despite their riches, their life may feel hollow and unsatisfying. Now contrast that with someone who lives modestly yet embodies wisdom and fairness in every decision they make. Such a person radiates a deeper sense of contentment and purpose, grounded in values that no external force can strip away. Cultivating inner virtue means prioritizing what you do over what you own, who you are over how others perceive you. It's about living in alignment with your values regardless of external circumstances. For instance, if faced with a moral dilemma, the Stoic approach would emphasize acting justly, even if it comes at a personal cost. Marcus Aurelius often reminded himself that wealth, fame, and power are fleeting and insignificant compared to the enduring value of a virtuous character. He wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." This principle isn't meant to dismiss external success, but to frame it correctly. It should never be the ultimate goal, only a byproduct of a virtuous life. When you focus on cultivating wisdom, you make better decisions. When you practice courage, you face challenges with resilience. When you embody justice, you contribute to the greater good. And when you exercise temperance, you avoid being enslaved by desires or excess. By nurturing these virtues, you create a foundation for lasting fulfillment, one that external achievements alone can never provide. This is the Stoic path to true success, a life rich not in material possessions but in character, integrity, and purpose. With this understanding of inner virtue established, let us now explore the importance of being rational rather than reactive in facing life's challenges. Moving forward, we delve into the Stoic principle of being rational rather than reactive. Life often presents us with moments that tempt us to react impulsively, driven by emotion rather than reason. Imagine a difficult colleague at work, someone who continuously undermines your efforts or challenges your patience. The natural instinct might be to respond with anger or frustration, escalating the tension. But Stoicism teaches us to pause, reflect, and approach the situation with a calm, rational mindset. Instead of allowing emotions to dictate your response, consider the bigger picture. What outcome do you truly seek? By remaining composed, you maintain control over your actions and the situation. For instance, instead of snapping back, you might choose to address the issue privately and constructively, or focus on excelling in your tasks to let your work speak for itself. Marcus Aurelius, one of the great Stoic philosophers, often reminded himself to meet adversity with reason, not emotion. He wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." This teaching is a reminder that while we cannot control how others behave, we can control how we respond. Rational thinking allows us to see challenges as opportunities to practice patience and wisdom, turning potential conflicts into moments of personal growth. By staying calm and evaluating situations logically, you become more effective in resolving issues rather than exacerbating them through emotional reactions. This practice not only diffuses tension but also fosters respect and understanding, paving the way for better relationships and outcomes. It is a tool for self-mastery that ensures you remain grounded even in the face of provocation. With this balance of reason over emotion in mind, let us now explore the Stoic concept of accepting fate with equanimity. With the next phase of the journey in sight, we arrive at the profound Stoic concept of accepting fate with equanimity, often captured by the phrase amor fati, meaning the love of fate. At its core, this principle encourages us to embrace everything that happens in life, both the triumphs and the trials, as necessary parts of our existence. Stoicism teaches us that resistance to reality only magnifies suffering, while acceptance can lead to inner peace. Think of a time when plans fell apart despite your best efforts, whether it was a missed opportunity, a setback at work, or an unexpected life event. It is natural to feel frustration or disappointment, but the Stoics remind us to see these moments as essential threads in the fabric of our lives. Instead of lamenting what might have been, we can choose to view these events as opportunities to grow, adapt, and strengthen our character. Marcus Aurelius reflected on this concept by writing, "A blazing fire makes flame and brightness out of everything that is thrown into it." This analogy reminds us that, like a fire, we can transform every experience, positive or negative, into fuel for self-improvement. Loving one's fate does not mean passively accepting injustice or ceasing to strive for better outcomes. Rather, it requires recognizing that some events are beyond our control and responding to them with grace and wisdom. When we practice amor fati, we stop wasting energy on wishing the past were different and instead focus on how we can move forward. This mindset cultivates resilience, turning obstacles into stepping stones for a more meaningful life. By embracing life's inevitabilities with open arms, we free ourselves from the shackles of resistance and discover the tranquility that comes from true acceptance. Now turning to another important teaching, let's explore the Stoic perspective on why we should avoid complaining. Now turning to the next challenge, we delve into the Stoic perspective on why we should avoid complaining. Stoicism teaches us that complaining is not only unproductive but also a drain on our energy and focus. While it might feel momentarily satisfying to vent frustrations, this habit often reinforces negativity rather than resolving the issue. Instead of dwelling on what went wrong, the Stoics encourage us to direct our energy toward what can be learned or changed. Think about a time when you faced a difficult situation, such as a delayed flight, a disagreement with a friend, or an unexpected obstacle at work. Complaining about these events may have felt like the natural response, but did it truly improve the situation? Seneca, a prominent Stoic philosopher, reminds us that we suffer more in imagination than in reality, meaning that our complaints often magnify problems in our minds. By choosing not to complain, we create space to respond with clarity and purpose rather than emotional reactivity. This does not mean suppressing all emotions or ignoring hardships. Instead, it is about reframing the way we approach challenges. When faced with adversity, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can I grow stronger or wiser because of it? This simple mindset shift turns obstacles into opportunities for personal development. Adopting this practice requires patience and self-awareness, but with time, it becomes a powerful tool for inner peace. Complaining keeps us stuck in a cycle of dissatisfaction, while focusing on solutions helps us move forward. As the next step on this journey of wisdom, let's explore the Stoic practice of gratitude and how it enriches our lives. Moving forward, let us reflect on the Stoic rule of being grateful for what you have. Gratitude is a cornerstone of Stoic philosophy, serving as a reminder to focus on the abundance already present in our lives rather than yearning for what we lack. This practice not only enhances our sense of contentment but also strengthens our resilience when facing challenges. Marcus Aurelius, one of Stoicism's most influential figures, often reflected on gratitude in his personal writings, urging himself to appreciate the blessings surrounding him, no matter how small or fleeting they seem. How can we bring this powerful mindset into our daily lives? One simple yet transformative method is to keep a gratitude journal. At the end of each day, take a moment to write down 3 things you are thankful for. These could be as grand as achieving a long-term goal or as simple as a kind word from a friend, a delicious meal, or even the warmth of the sun on your face. This practice shifts your focus away from what is missing and toward what is meaningful, cultivating a deep sense of fulfillment. Another approach is to express gratitude directly to those around you. A heartfelt thank you to a colleague, friend, or family member for their kindness or support not only lifts your spirits but strengthens your relationships as well. The Stoics believed that gratitude is not just a fleeting emotion but a way of life. It teaches us to appreciate the present moment and recognize that even amidst difficulties, there is always something to be grateful for. When we embrace gratitude, we transform our perspective, allowing positivity to take root and grow in our minds. As we continue on this journey of Stoic wisdom, let us now delve into the vital practice of cultivating self-discipline and how it serves as a foundation for a fulfilling life. Now turning to the next essential rule, let us explore the importance of cultivating self-discipline as a cornerstone of Stoic living. Self-discipline, according to the Stoics, is the foundation of a life guided by reason, not by fleeting impulses or unchecked desires. It is the ability to align your actions with your values, even when external temptations or internal resistance arise. Epictetus often reminded his students that freedom is not doing whatever one wishes but mastering one's own will and desires. How do we bring this principle into practice? It begins with identifying the areas in life where a lack of discipline is holding you back. For example, consider procrastination, a habit that many struggle with. When you delay tasks because of fear, distraction, or discomfort, you not only postpone progress but also create unnecessary stress. Instead, tackle tasks head-on by breaking them into smaller, manageable steps and committing to a specific timeline. This simple yet effective strategy builds momentum and motivation. Another area where self-discipline shines is in regulating indulgences. Whether it is food, social media, or entertainment, overindulgence often leads to fleeting pleasure followed by regret or dissatisfaction. The Stoics encouraged moderation, warning against becoming a slave to pleasures. Next time you face a temptation, pause and question whether this choice aligns with your long-term goals or merely satisfies a momentary craving. This pause creates space for your reason to guide you over your impulses. Developing self-discipline is not about perfection but progress. Each time you resist a distraction, follow through on a commitment, or make a choice that reflects your higher values, you strengthen your ability to act with purpose and intention. Over time, these small victories compound, transforming your habits and ultimately your character. This is how self-discipline serves as a powerful tool for living a fulfilling life. As we move forward in our journey through Stoic wisdom, the next rule invites us to explore the transformative practice of training your perception and how it shapes the way you experience the world. Now turning to the transformative practice of training your perception, we dive into a profound Stoic principle. Events themselves are neither inherently good nor bad. It is our perception of them that assigns meaning. This idea challenges us to examine how we interpret the world around us and how those interpretations shape our experiences. Imagine encountering a traffic jam on the way to an important meeting. The event itself is neutral. It is neither a tragedy nor a blessing. However, your perception might turn it into a source of frustration, anxiety, or even anger. But what if instead you viewed this delay as an opportunity, a moment to reflect, to breathe, or even to listen to an audiobook or podcast you have been wanting to explore? By reframing the situation, you shift your experience from one of stress to one of learning or calm. The Stoics believed that the key to a fulfilling life lies in mastering this art of reframing. Consider the example of rejection, whether it is in your career, relationships, or personal pursuits. At first glance, rejection might feel like a failure, a confirmation of inadequacy. Yet through a Stoic lens, it can be seen as a lesson, a chance to grow, to re-evaluate your approach, or to redirect your efforts towards something more aligned with your purpose. This shift in perception transforms what seems like a setback into a stepping stone. How do we cultivate this skill of reframing? Start by pausing before reacting. When faced with a challenging situation, take a moment to ask yourself, what story am I telling myself about this? Is there another way to interpret it? This small pause creates room for reason to step in, replacing automatic reactions with thoughtful responses. Over time, this practice strengthens your capacity to see challenges as opportunities and obstacles as pathways to growth. Remember, training your perception is not about denying reality or forcing positivity. It is about recognizing the power you hold to interpret events in a way that serves your growth and aligns with your higher values. As you sharpen this skill, you will find yourself better equipped to navigate the ups and downs of life with resilience and clarity. With this empowering tool in mind, let us now journey forward to discover the Stoic wisdom behind practicing voluntary discomfort and how it builds strength and gratitude in everyday life. Now turning to the Stoic practice of voluntary discomfort, we explore a method that might seem counterintuitive at first, but holds immense value in cultivating resilience and gratitude. The idea is simple yet profound. Intentionally expose yourself to small, controlled discomforts to strengthen your character and deepen your appreciation for comfort. Consider practices like fasting, where you willingly forego food for a set period. This not only teaches you self-discipline, but also helps you realize how much you might take daily meals for granted. Or think about taking cold showers, a practice that pushes you out of your comfort zone, sharpening your mental toughness and teaching you to endure temporary discomfort without resistance. These small acts of voluntary discomfort are not about punishing yourself, they are about preparation. By regularly stepping into situations that challenge you, you build the mental and emotional strength to face unexpected hardships with greater ease. Take, for instance, walking instead of driving on a day when it is less convenient, or choosing to sleep without extra blankets on a cool night. These minor adjustments train your mind to adapt and endure, making you less dependent on external comforts for happiness. Moreover, voluntary discomfort fosters a profound sense of gratitude. When you go without something, even briefly, you tend to appreciate it more deeply when it returns. A simple glass of water feels extraordinary after a period of thirst, and a warm bed feels luxurious after a night of simplicity. This practice aligns with the Stoic belief in focusing on what truly matters, showing you that your inner strength and mindset are far more valuable than fleeting external comforts. As you explore voluntary discomfort, remember it is not about grand gestures or extreme measures. Start with small, manageable steps that fit into your routine. The goal is to stretch your capacity for resilience while cultivating a mindful appreciation for the life you already have. With this principle in place, let us now delve into another critical Stoic rule: mastering excessive emotions and learning to avoid being a slave to passions. This next lesson provides powerful strategies to maintain emotional balance and inner peace. Now, turning to the Stoic principle of not being a slave to passions, we confront the challenge of excessive emotions and their impact on inner peace. Stoicism teaches that emotions like anger, jealousy, or even unchecked excitement can cloud our judgment and lead us away from rational decision-making. The key is not to suppress emotions entirely, but to understand them and respond thoughtfully instead of reacting impulsively. For example, when anger arises, instead of letting it control your actions, take a moment to pause and analyze its source. Ask yourself, is this reaction truly justified, or is it fueled by my ego or unmet expectations? This simple act of self-awareness can prevent a rash response and help you regain clarity. Another common emotional pitfall is jealousy, which often stems from comparing yourself to others. In such moments, remind yourself of the Stoic belief that true contentment comes from focusing on your own growth and virtues, not from measuring yourself against external achievements. Practicing mindfulness is a powerful tool in mastering emotions. When you feel an overwhelming emotion creeping in, take a few deep breaths and center yourself in the present moment. This creates space between the trigger and your response, allowing you to act with reason. Finally, cultivate the habit of journaling daily. Reflect on moments when emotions got the better of you and consider how you could have handled them differently. This practice fosters self-awareness and equips you to manage similar situations more effectively in the future. By refusing to be a slave to passions, you embrace a calmer, more deliberate state of being, where your actions align with your values rather than fleeting emotional impulses. Moving forward, let us now consider another vital Stoic rule: valuing the fleeting nature of time, a principle that reminds us to live with purpose and intention. Moving forward, let us reflect on the profound Stoic lesson of valuing our time, as eloquently taught by Seneca. He reminds us that time is our most precious and irreplaceable resource. While material losses can often be recovered, lost time is gone forever. Yet, how often do we squander it on trivial pursuits or allow it to slip through our fingers unnoticed? The Stoics urge us to live with greater intention and mindfulness, treating each moment as a valuable opportunity to align our actions with our highest purpose. To start, examine your daily routines and identify activities that add little to no value to your life. Perhaps it is excessive scrolling on social media, engaging in meaningless gossip, or procrastinating on important tasks. By cutting down or eliminating these distractions, you create space for what truly matters, be it personal growth, meaningful relationships, or pursuing long-term goals. Another powerful practice is setting clear priorities at the beginning of each day. Ask yourself, what is most important for me to focus on today that aligns with my core values? This simple question helps steer your time and energy toward what truly matters. Likewise, cultivate the habit of saying no to activities or commitments that do not serve your purpose. Remember, every yes to something unimportant is a no to something meaningful. Finally, consider reflecting each evening on how you spent your day. Did your actions align with your intentions, or were there moments when time slipped away unnoticed? This reflection builds awareness and equips you to improve how you manage your time moving forward. By valuing time as Stoics do, you embrace each day with purpose and intention, living fully in the present rather than letting life pass you by. Now, as we continue this journey through Stoic wisdom, let us explore the critical principle of not seeking validation from others and instead cultivating inner confidence and self-reliance. Now turning to the critical principle of not seeking validation from others, the Stoics teach us that true self-worth is not found in the opinions or approval of others, but is cultivated within ourselves. Epictetus reminds us that we should concern ourselves with our own actions and character, not how others perceive us. Seeking external validation often places our happiness and self-esteem at the mercy of things we cannot control, leaving us vulnerable to disappointment and insecurity. Instead, the Stoic path encourages us to find strength in self-reliance and confidence in our internal virtues. To begin practicing this, remind yourself that others' opinions are fleeting and often based on their own subjective experiences, biases, or incomplete understanding of who you truly are. When you feel the urge to seek approval or fear judgment, pause and ask yourself, does this person's opinion truly define my worth, or is it my own values and principles that matter more? By separating your self-esteem from external feedback, you reclaim your autonomy and foster greater emotional resilience. Another effective method is to focus on doing what is right and meaningful according to your own values, regardless of whether it wins praise or criticism. As Marcus Aurelius advises, be satisfied if you can live the rest of your life as nature wills it. This means staying true to your purpose and not being swayed by the applause or disapproval of others. Build confidence in yourself by setting small, achievable goals that align with your principles. Each success strengthens your belief in your abilities and reduces your reliance on external affirmation. Reflect on your past achievements and challenges you have overcome, as these serve as proof of your inner strength and capability. Finally, practice gratitude for who you are and the progress you have made, rather than comparing yourself to others. Remember, comparison is a thief of joy and distracts from personal growth. By internalizing the Stoic principle of not seeking validation, you liberate yourself from the emotional roller coaster of external opinions and discover a profound sense of inner peace and self-assurance. Moving forward, let us delve into the importance of accepting criticism gracefully and using it as an opportunity for growth. Moving forward, let us embrace the Stoic rule of accepting criticism gracefully. At its core, Stoicism teaches us that criticism, whether fair or unjust, holds valuable lessons if we approach it with humility and an open mind. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, "If anyone can prove me wrong and show me my mistake in any thought or action, I shall gladly change." This wisdom highlights the importance of viewing criticism not as a personal attack but as an opportunity for growth. When someone critiques you, resist the urge to react defensively or dismissively. Instead, pause and consider the feedback with rationality. Ask yourself, is there truth in this criticism that can help me improve? If the answer is yes, accept it with gratitude and use it to refine your actions or decisions. On the other hand, if the criticism is unwarranted or stems from misunderstanding, remind yourself that everyone perceives the world through their own lens, shaped by their experiences and biases. There is no benefit in internalizing unfair judgments. Rather than becoming upset, practice patience and empathy toward the critic. Understand that their words often reflect their struggles or perspectives more than your reality. Additionally, cultivate the habit of separating constructive criticism from unproductive negativity. Genuine feedback, even when uncomfortable, is a gift that allows you to grow, while baseless negativity can be ignored without regret. By maintaining composure in the face of criticism, you demonstrate strength of character and self-control, two virtues highly treasured by the Stoics. To begin practicing this, reflect on moments when criticism has benefited you in the past. These experiences can serve as reminders of how valuable feedback can be. Furthermore, strive to create an internal dialogue that reframes criticism as a chance to practice patience, develop resilience, or refine your skills. As Epictetus teaches, it is not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. By choosing to respond constructively rather than emotionally, you transform criticism into a tool for self-improvement. In embracing this rule, you move closer to inner peace and wisdom, unshaken by the opinions of others. With this principle in mind, let us now explore the power of practicing humility and recognizing the strength found in acknowledging our limitations. Moving forward, let us delve into the Stoic rule of practicing humility, a virtue central to living a meaningful and harmonious life. Humility, in the Stoic sense, is the recognition that no matter how much we know or achieve, there is always room to grow and learn. As Epictetus wisely stated, it is impossible for a man to learn what he thinks he already knows. This reminds us that arrogance blinds us to opportunities for self-improvement, while humility opens the door to endless growth. Practicing humility begins with acknowledging our limitations. It is not a sign of weakness but a profound strength to admit that we do not have all the answers. By doing so, we create the space to learn from others, whether they are mentors, peers, or even those we might initially overlook. Everyone we encounter has something to teach us if only we are willing to listen. For example, consider how much insight can be gained simply by remaining quiet in a heated discussion and truly hearing another's perspective. This not only broadens our understanding but also strengthens our relationships through mutual respect. Additionally, humility allows us to approach life with gratitude rather than entitlement. We stop seeing success as something owed to us and start appreciating it as a result of effort, luck, and the support of others. When we recognize that our achievements are never solely our own, we foster a sense of gratitude that keeps arrogance at bay. Importantly, humility also encourages us to seek feedback without defensiveness. When we understand that criticism is not an attack on our worth but an opportunity to grow, we embody the wisdom and grace of a Stoic. To cultivate humility, practice viewing yourself as a perpetual student in the school of life. No matter your age, profession, or accomplishments, there is always more to learn, and every experience, pleasant or challenging, holds lessons. This mindset not only deepens your knowledge but also enriches your character. Furthermore, take time to reflect on the contributions of others to your successes. Whether it is a supportive friend, a wise mentor, or even the challenges posed by a rival, acknowledging their role humbles us and reinforces our interconnectedness. Practicing humility is not about diminishing your own value but about recognizing your place within the larger tapestry of life. By embracing this virtue, you free yourself from the ego's need for validation and open yourself to wisdom, connection, and growth. With this powerful mindset established, let us now turn our focus to the Stoic teaching of avoiding envy and directing our energy towards self-improvement instead. Moving forward, let us explore the Stoic rule of avoiding envy, a practice that liberates us from unnecessary suffering and channels our energy toward personal growth. Envy, at its core, stems from comparing ourselves to others and longing for what they have. This mindset is not only destructive but also futile, as it distracts us from our own path and undermines our inner peace. Instead of focusing on others' achievements, the Stoics teach us to direct our attention inward, asking how we can improve ourselves. As Marcus Aurelius wisely noted, "Do not indulge in dreams of having what you do not have, but reckon up the chief of the blessings you do possess, and then thankfully remember how you would crave them if they were not yours." This profound advice reminds us of the essential Stoic practice of gratitude, which shifts our focus from what we lack to what we already possess. Envy often arises from the illusion that others' lives are perfect, yet we rarely see the full picture. The promotion a colleague received might come with immense stress, or the wealth of a stranger might mask deep personal struggles. By reminding ourselves that no one's life is free from challenges, we can dissolve envy and cultivate empathy instead. To avoid envy, practice celebrating others' successes as though they were your own. By doing so, you not only strengthen your relationships but also foster a mindset of abundance. After all, someone else's achievement does not diminish your worth or potential. The Stoics also emphasize that we cannot control external circumstances, including the successes or possessions of others, but we can control how we respond. This understanding helps us break free from the comparison trap and focus on what truly matters: our own growth and virtues. When tempted by envy, reflect on your unique journey. Each of us has different strengths, goals, and opportunities, and comparing ourselves to others is like measuring apples against oranges. Instead, commit to being better than you were yesterday rather than striving to surpass someone else today. A practical way to do this is by setting personal goals that align with your values and measuring your progress against those benchmarks rather than external standards. Avoiding envy does not mean suppressing ambition. On the contrary, it allows you to pursue your goals with clarity, free from the distractions of comparison. By focusing on self-improvement, you redirect the energy wasted on envy toward building a life grounded in purpose and fulfillment. As we deepen our understanding of this principle, let us now examine the empowering Stoic rule of not fearing failure, but rather seeing it as a stepping stone for growth. With the next phase of the journey in sight, let us delve into the empowering Stoic rule of not fearing failure but embracing it as a valuable teacher. To the Stoics, failure is not a mark of defeat but an inevitable part of the human experience that offers a chance for growth and self-improvement. It is through our mistakes and setbacks that we uncover our weaknesses, refine our strengths, and build resilience. As Epictetus wisely stated, difficulties show what men are. This perspective encourages us to see failure not as an end but as a stepping stone toward greater wisdom and capability. Fear of failure often stems from the unrealistic expectation of perfection. Yet, the Stoics remind us that no one is immune to missteps, and striving for flawlessness only paralyzes us with anxiety. Instead, they advise adopting a rational mindset, asking what can be learned from the situation and how we can act more wisely in the future. By reframing failure as feedback, we unlock the potential for continuous growth. Consider the inventor who faces countless failed experiments before achieving a breakthrough, or the athlete who learns from every loss to refine their technique. These examples demonstrate that failure is not the opposite of success but an integral part of reaching it. The Stoic practice of premeditatio malorum, or imagining potential obstacles, also helps us confront the fear of failure head-on. By mentally preparing for setbacks, we reduce their emotional impact and cultivate a proactive approach to overcoming them. Another way to embrace failure is by detaching our sense of self-worth from outcomes. The Stoics teach us to focus on our efforts and intentions rather than the results, which are often influenced by factors beyond our control. When we judge ourselves by how diligently we work toward our goals, failure becomes less intimidating because it does not define our character. Remember, even the greatest minds and leaders of history encountered failures on their paths to greatness. What set them apart was their ability to persevere, learn, and adapt. The Stoic approach encourages us to adopt this mindset, treating every setback as an opportunity to grow stronger and wiser. So, the next time you stumble, take a moment to reflect on what the experience can teach you. Then, rise with renewed determination, knowing that failure is not something to fear but a tool to shape a more resilient and accomplished version of yourself. Moving forward, let us now explore the deeply enriching Stoic principle of helping others selflessly, a practice that connects us to the greater good and fosters a sense of purpose. With the next phase of the journey in sight, let us now explore the profoundly uplifting Stoic principle of helping others selflessly. At the heart of Stoic philosophy lies the belief that we are all interconnected, and our highest purpose is to contribute to the greater good. The Stoics viewed acts of kindness not as grand gestures but as essential threads in the fabric of human society. By helping others, we not only uplift those around us but also align ourselves with our true nature as social beings. Marcus Aurelius, one of Stoicism's greatest thinkers, often reminded himself that humans are meant to act in harmony, like parts of a single body. This perspective shifts our focus from self-centered goals to the larger collective, fostering a sense of unity and purpose. Helping others selflessly can take many forms, from offering a listening ear to someone in distress to performing small acts of kindness like holding the door open or sharing words of encouragement. These gestures may seem minor, but their impact can ripple outward, inspiring others to act with similar generosity. Imagine the chain of positivity sparked by a single act of kindness. The person you assist might go on to help someone else, creating an unseen network of goodwill. The Stoics also emphasized that helping others does not require recognition or reward. It is the intention and the act itself that matter. They believed that virtue lies in doing good simply because it is the right thing to do, not because of external praise or benefits. When we detach from the need for validation, our actions become purer and we feel a deeper sense of fulfillment. This practice also nurtures humility, reminding us that life's true value is found in serving something greater than ourselves. Moreover, helping others contributes to our inner peace by reducing the focus on our own worries. When we shift our attention outward, we often gain perspective, realizing that others face struggles as well. This shared humanity fosters empathy and gratitude. For example, volunteering at a shelter, supporting a colleague, or even offering a simple smile to a stranger can create meaningful connections that enrich both their lives and ours. The Stoic principle of selfless service reminds us that our time and energy are powerful resources when used to lift others. As we embody this principle, we not only contribute to the well-being of those around us, but also cultivate a deep sense of purpose and harmony within ourselves. And so, with this enriching perspective, let us now transition to the importance of maintaining a calm mind, a cornerstone of Stoic resilience and clarity. With the next phase of the journey in sight, let us delve into the importance of maintaining a calm mind, a cornerstone of Stoic resilience and clarity. The Stoics understood that a tranquil mind is essential for navigating life's challenges with wisdom and composure. When our thoughts are scattered, emotions heightened, or worries consuming, our ability to make sound decisions diminishes. Mental tranquility, then, is not just a luxury but a necessity for leading a fulfilling life. One powerful way to cultivate this calmness is through mindfulness practices. While the ancient Stoics may not have used the term mindfulness, their principles align closely with its modern applications. For instance, they emphasized the importance of being present, fully engaged with the task at hand, and not allowing the mind to drift into anxieties about the past or future. Deep breathing exercises can be an anchor in the storm of our thoughts. By simply focusing on your breath, inhale slowly, exhale even slower, you can center yourself and regain control over chaotic emotions. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, often wrote about returning to the self, finding stillness within, and not allowing external troubles to disrupt inner peace. Similarly, meditation can play a key role. Taking just a few minutes each day to sit quietly, Observe your thoughts without judgment, and practice letting go of tensions can significantly enhance your mental clarity. The Stoics also taught the power of reframing. When faced with a difficult situation, ask yourself, is this within my control? If the answer is no, release it from your mind. By focusing only on what you can influence, you avoid unnecessary stress and conserve your mental energy. Another helpful technique is journaling. At the end of the day, take a moment to reflect on your thoughts, emotions, and actions. Writing them down can help you process your experiences, identify patterns, and clear mental clutter. Imagine your mind as a calm lake. When you allow your thoughts and emotions to churn uncontrollably, the water becomes turbulent, distorting your ability to see clearly. But when you practice these techniques, mindful breathing, meditation, reframing, and journaling, you quiet the waters, restoring clarity and peace. A calm mind also fosters resilience. When you can face difficulties without becoming overwhelmed, you build inner strength. Moreover, this tranquility enhances your interactions with others, allowing you to respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively. By maintaining a calm mind, you create space for wisdom, patience, and understanding to thrive. As we embrace this vital Stoic practice, let us now transition to exploring the idea of avoiding superficial pleasures, another insightful way to prioritize long-term fulfillment over fleeting satisfaction. Now turning to the idea of avoiding superficial pleasures, we delve into another cornerstone of Stoicism, prioritizing long-term fulfillment over short-term gratification. The Stoics believed that true contentment comes not from indulging in fleeting pleasures, but from cultivating self-discipline and aligning our actions with our higher values. Superficial pleasures often give us a momentary sense of satisfaction, but they can lead to negative consequences if pursued excessively. Think about overindulging in food, drink, or entertainment. While these activities may bring brief enjoyment, they often leave us feeling unbalanced, drained, or even regretful afterward. Instead, the Stoics advocated for moderation in all things. For example, Seneca wrote about the importance of simplicity and restraint, emphasizing that a life of excess often distracts us from what truly matters. By exercising restraint, you gain greater control over your impulses and free yourself from the cycle of craving more. This is not to say that you should deny yourself all pleasures, but rather to approach them thoughtfully and in moderation. Take a moment to reflect on your habits. Are there activities or indulgences in your life that consume more time or energy than they should? Perhaps it's endlessly scrolling on social media, binge-watching shows, or eating more than you need. By identifying these tendencies and consciously scaling back, you create space for pursuits that provide deeper and more lasting satisfaction, such as meaningful relationships, personal growth, or contributing to others. The Stoics also taught us to question the true value of these pleasures. Ask yourself, does this contribute to the kind of person I want to be? If the answer is no, it might be time to reconsider. Avoiding superficial pleasures doesn't mean living a joyless life. It means finding joy in what is meaningful and enduring. Like a gardener pruning unnecessary branches, you clear away the distractions to allow your character and purpose to flourish. This aligns your life with the Stoic ideal of living with intention and wisdom. By avoiding superficial pleasures, you reclaim your time and energy, investing them in what truly matters. With this understanding, let us now explore the power of honesty and authenticity, another profound Stoic principle for living a fulfilling and virtuous life. Moving forward, we arrive at the essential Stoic rule of being honest and authentic, which lies at the very heart of living a virtuous life. For the Stoics, integrity was non-negotiable. They believed that true strength comes from aligning our words and actions with our innermost values, even when it might be easier to compromise or put on a facade. Honesty is not just about telling the truth to others, it is also about being truthful with yourself. consider how often people may mask their true feelings, opinions, or intentions to please others or fit in. While this might seem harmless in the moment, it leads to a fractured sense of self over time, eroding both your confidence and your ability to live authentically. The Stoics taught that living authentically means embracing who you are without pretending to be someone you are not. This does not mean being blunt or careless with words, but rather speaking with sincerity and acting with integrity. For instance, Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, often reminded himself to live in accordance with his nature and values, rather than being swayed by external pressures or the need for approval. Being honest and authentic also allows you to cultivate genuine relationships. Connections built on truth are far stronger and more fulfilling than those based on pretense. Reflect on the relationships in your life. Are they rooted in honesty? Do you feel free to express your true self, or do you find yourself holding back out of fear of judgment? The Stoics would encourage you to seek bonds where authenticity is welcomed and reciprocated. At the same time, being honest brings freedom. When you no longer feel the need to impress or deceive, you release the burden of maintaining appearances and can focus on what truly matters: your growth, your principles, and the contribution you make to the world. Authenticity does not mean perfection, nor does it mean revealing every thought or flaw to everyone. Instead, it means striving to be consistent in who you are and what you stand for. Ask yourself, am I living in alignment with my values? Are my actions reflective of the person I aim to be? By embracing honesty and authenticity, you build a foundation for a life that is both fulfilling and admirable. With this in mind, let us now reflect on another crucial Stoic practice, remembering the fleeting nature of fame and why it should never define your worth. Now turning to the next Stoic rule, remember the ephemeral nature of fame and its inability to define your true worth. Fame, as the Stoics observed, is temporary, unpredictable, and ultimately beyond your control. Marcus Aurelius, one of the most renowned Stoic philosophers, often reflected on the fleeting nature of recognition and legacy. In his Meditations, he reminded himself repeatedly that the praises of others, no matter how grand or widespread, would eventually fade into obscurity, just as the generations before and after him would pass from memory. The Stoics taught that placing your self-worth in the hands of others' opinions is a fragile and dangerous pursuit. After all, public approval is fickle, shaped by trends, misunderstandings, and the ever-shifting perceptions of society. It is not uncommon to see individuals devote their lives to chasing fame, altering who they are or compromising their values for the sake of applause. And yet, even those who achieve widespread recognition often find themselves disillusioned, realizing that external validation can never fill the void of meaning and purpose within. True fulfillment does not come from the admiration of others, but from living with integrity and aligning your actions with your principles. Consider how much time and energy is wasted in the pursuit of being liked, admired, or remembered. The Stoics would challenge you to shift your focus inward instead of outward. They would ask, are you proud of the person you are becoming? Are your choices guided by wisdom and virtue, or by a desire to impress the crowd? Fame is fleeting, but character endures. By prioritizing your inner growth and living in accordance with what truly matters, you free yourself from the anxiety of chasing approval. Remember, the opinions of others are not within your control, but your thoughts and actions are. Reflect on this. How often do you let the fear of judgment or the desire for recognition influence your decisions? The Stoics would remind you that letting go of such concerns not only brings peace, but also allows you to focus on what you can control: your effort, integrity, and the impact you have on your immediate sphere of influence. Fame, in contrast, is a mirage. It disappears as quickly as it appears, and it does not define your worth. By letting go of the need for external validation, you gain the freedom to live authentically and cultivate a sense of purpose that endures regardless of the shifting tides of public opinion. With this understanding, let us now explore the next vital Stoic principle, aligning your actions with your values and how this consistency leads to a truly meaningful life. Now turning to the next Stoic rule, aligning your actions with your values is a cornerstone of living a meaningful and authentic life. The Stoics believed that the ultimate measure of a person's character lies in the harmony between what they believe and how they act. It is one thing to hold virtuous ideals in theory, but the true test is whether those ideals inform your decisions and behavior. Imagine someone who values honesty deeply, yet chooses to lie when it is convenient. Such inconsistency not only erodes trust from others but also creates inner conflict, leaving a person feeling unsettled or insincere. The Stoics taught that living in alignment with your values is the foundation of a tranquil mind and a fulfilling life. They encouraged continual self-reflection, asking questions like, "Are my choices reflecting the virtues I claim to hold? Are my principles guiding my path, or am I swayed by impulses and external pressures?" To truly align your actions with your values, you must first identify what those values are. Take time to reflect on what matters most to you, whether it is integrity, kindness, resilience, or fairness, and use those as your compass. In moments of doubt or temptation, pause and ask yourself, does this decision move me closer to the person I want to be or further away? The Stoics also remind us that alignment does not mean perfection. We are all human and mistakes are inevitable. What matters is the effort to strive for consistency. When you fall short, take it as an opportunity to learn and recalibrate instead of being weighed down by guilt. Surrounding yourself with people who share and support your values can also help you stay on course. Their actions can inspire and remind you of the path you wish to follow. Ultimately, aligning actions with values is not about grand gestures, but about the everyday choices you make, the honesty in your words, the fairness in your dealings, the kindness in your interactions. By living in accordance with your principles, you cultivate inner peace and earn the self-respect that no external success can provide. As you incorporate this practice into your life, ask yourself, what values do I hold dear and how can I better embody them in my actions today? With these thoughts in mind, let us now move forward to the next Stoic lesson. Why avoiding gossip and focusing instead on meaningful communication is essential for living a life of integrity and purpose. Now turning to the next Stoic lesson, avoiding gossip is a crucial principle for cultivating integrity and leading a purpose-driven life. The Stoics believed that words hold power not only over others but also over ourselves. Gossip, though often tempting, is one of the most destructive uses of speech. It erodes trust, damages relationships, and distracts us from more meaningful pursuits. When we engage in gossip, we divert our focus from self-improvement to the flaws or misfortunes of others. This not only wastes precious time, but also reflects poorly on our character. Instead, the Stoics emphasized speaking with intention and purpose. They taught that every word should serve to build, educate, or inspire. Before speaking, ask yourself, is what I am about to say true? Is it kind? Does it add value? This simple filter helps ensure that your words align with your values. Imagine a scenario where someone shares a harmful rumor about a colleague. While it may seem harmless to participate, doing so only perpetuates negativity and fuels division. In contrast, choosing to remain silent or redirecting the conversation towards something constructive shows strength of character and reinforces the Stoic ideal of focusing on what is within your control. Another benefit of avoiding gossip is the peace of mind it brings. When you abstain from speaking ill of others, you free yourself from the worry of being judged by the same standard and instead foster trust in your relationships. The energy you conserve by avoiding unproductive talk can be redirected towards meaningful discussions or personal growth. The Stoics also remind us that listening is as important as speaking. By practicing active listening and showing empathy in conversations, you create a space for understanding and connection rather than negativity or judgment. Avoiding gossip does not mean avoiding conversations altogether. It simply means choosing communication that uplifts rather than tears down. As you reflect on this principle, consider how you can use your words more deliberately. Ask yourself, do my conversations reflect the kind of person I strive to be? How can I shift my focus towards discussions that inspire growth and understanding? By practicing mindful speech and avoiding gossip, you contribute to a more positive and harmonious life, both for yourself and those around you. With this in mind, let us now move forward to the next Stoic insight, learning not to take things personally and how this mindset can help you maintain inner peace and resilience. Moving forward, let us explore the transformative Stoic teaching of not taking things personally. This principle is rooted in the understanding that the actions and words of others are often a reflection of their own thoughts, struggles, or perceptions rather than a direct statement about us. Imagine someone speaking harshly to you or behaving rudely without apparent reason. It is easy to feel hurt or offended and to assume their behavior is a personal attack. However, the Stoics urged us to take a step back and recognize that what others do is ultimately a product of their own internal world, shaped by their experiences, emotions, and choices. By internalizing this perspective, we can respond with a sense of detachment and maintain our inner tranquility. Consider this scenario. You receive critical feedback from a colleague that feels unnecessarily harsh. Instead of immediately reacting defensively or replaying the words in your mind, pause and reflect. Is their criticism truly about you, or could it stem from their own stress or frustration? By not taking their words personally, you free yourself from unnecessary emotional turmoil and instead focus on how or if their feedback can serve as an opportunity for growth. The Stoics believed that our perception determines our experience. In the same way that an artist chooses colors to shape a painting, we can choose how to interpret the actions of others. When we understand that their behavior is often about them and not us, we become resilient in the face of negativity. This mindset also opens the door to compassion. Instead of responding with anger or resentment, we can approach situations with empathy, recognizing that others may be acting out of pain, confusion, or insecurity. One way to practice this principle is by reminding yourself of the Stoic idea that you are in control of your reactions, not the actions of others. If someone insults you or undermines you, their behavior does not define your worth. What defines you is how you respond. Remaining calm in the face of provocation not only preserves your peace of mind but also demonstrates strength of character. Additionally, consider how often we misinterpret situations due to overthinking or self-doubt. A friend's silence might not be avoidance but rather a reflection of their own busyness. A stranger's cold demeanor might have nothing to do with you but everything to do with their own struggles. By choosing not to take things personally, you let go of unnecessary burdens and allow yourself to focus on what truly matters, your own thoughts, actions, and growth. The gift of this Stoic principle is freedom, a freedom from the constant cycle of emotional reactivity and a pathway to inner peace. It empowers you to live authentically, guided by your values rather than tethered to the opinions and actions of others. As you reflect on this teaching, ask yourself, how often do I let the behavior of others dictate my emotions? How can I view their actions as separate from my worth? By integrating this mindset into your daily life, you can cultivate resilience and navigate your interactions with greater clarity and patience. Now, as we move ahead, let us delve into the importance of practicing patience and how it serves as a cornerstone of Stoic living. Now turning to the Stoic mastery of patience, we uncover a virtue that holds the power to transform how we face difficulties and delays in life. Patience, in the eyes of the Stoics, is not a passive act of endurance but an active and deliberate practice of maintaining calm and perspective in the face of challenges. It is the ability to pause, reflect, and respond wisely rather than react impulsively to difficulties. Imagine being stuck in traffic while running late for an important appointment. The situation is beyond your control, yet it is easy to let frustration take over. A Stoic would use this as an opportunity to practice patience, reminding themselves that the delay is an external event and that their internal peace does not have to be disturbed by it. By focusing on what can be done, such as informing the concerned party about the delay or simply using the time for reflection, a stressful situation is transformed into one of acceptance and proactive thinking. One way to cultivate patience is by reframing how you view setbacks. Instead of seeing them as obstacles, consider them as chances to train yourself in endurance and perspective. For instance, when faced with a long line at the store or an unexpected technical issue at work, treat it as an exercise in self-control. Reflect on how losing your composure would affect the outcome. Could it accelerate the process or solve the problem? Likely not. By choosing to remain calm, you conserve your energy and maintain clarity, which can help you handle the situation more effectively. Another practice is to remind yourself of the transient nature of difficulties. Just as sunny days follow storms, challenges are temporary. The Stoics often reflected on the idea that time has the power to heal and change circumstances. By keeping this in mind, you can develop the patience to wait for situations to unfold without unnecessary worry or agitation. For example, suppose you are working toward a significant goal, such as mastering a new skill or achieving a promotion. The journey may be long and fraught with setbacks, but patience allows you to focus on consistent effort rather than immediate results. Meditation and mindfulness can also play a key role in building patience. Regularly practicing moments of stillness and deep breathing can help you develop the habit of pausing before reacting. The next time you feel your patience being tested, take a moment to breathe and count to 10. This simple act can create the space needed to respond thoughtfully, rather than letting frustration dictate your actions. The Stoics believed that patience is rooted in wisdom, the wisdom of understanding that not everything happens according to our timeline or preferences. Life unfolds as it will, and our role is to navigate it with grace and resilience. Ask yourself, how often do I allow impatience to cloud my judgment or rob me of peace? How can I adopt a mindset that views delays and difficulties as opportunities for growth? By embracing the practice of patience, you not only enhance your ability to face life's challenges, but also foster a sense of inner strength and stability. As we move forward, let us now explore the Stoic value of simplicity and how living a simpler life can free you from unnecessary distractions and bring greater contentment. Moving forward, we delve into the Stoic preference for simplicity, a principle that can illuminate the path to true contentment. At its core, simplicity is not about deprivation but about focusing on what truly matters and removing excess that clouds our judgment and peace. The Stoics believed that a life free from unnecessary distractions and material excess allows space for clarity, purpose, and inner harmony. Imagine the weight lifted when you declutter both your physical environment and your mind, shedding the things that neither serve nor fulfill you. Consider the way modern life often pulls us in countless directions, with endless consumerism and a constant stream of information demanding our attention. The Stoics would ask, do these things enhance your life or merely distract from what is essential? Reflect, for example, on a wardrobe filled with clothes you rarely wear or a home cluttered with items that no longer bring joy or utility. By removing the unimportant, you can create a space that feels calmer and more purposeful, mirroring the Stoic idea of a simpler life. Simplicity also extends to our choices and commitments. Overcommitting, whether socially or professionally, can lead to stress and distraction. A Stoic would suggest prioritizing quality over quantity in all aspects of life, relationships, possessions, and even daily tasks. Ask yourself what truly enriches your life. By focusing your time and energy on fewer but more meaningful pursuits, you align your actions with your values, fostering a greater sense of fulfillment. Another key aspect of simplicity is learning to find satisfaction in what you already have. The Stoics valued gratitude, urging us to appreciate the present rather than chasing endless desires. For instance, instead of longing for the latest gadget or a bigger house, pause to reflect on the utility and comfort of what you already own. Gratitude reframes your perspective, highlighting abundance where you might have seen lack, and in doing so, it fosters lasting contentment. The practice of simplicity is not just about minimalism, it is about minimizing distractions to maximize your focus on what genuinely matters in life. Think of how freeing it can be to step away from the noise of social media or the pressures of keeping up with societal expectations. Simplicity invites you to reconnect with yourself, your values, and your purpose, unencumbered by the weight of unnecessary wants and obligations. As you consider the Stoic value of simplicity, ask yourself, how can I let go of the excess in my life that does not align with my values? How might a simpler approach allow me to experience greater peace and clarity? By embracing simplicity, you create room for what truly matters, enriching your inner world while detaching from the distractions of the outer one. With this perspective in mind, let us now examine what it means to take responsibility for your choices, understanding how accountability empowers us to navigate life with intention and wisdom. With the next phase of the journey in sight, let us explore the profound Stoic principle of taking responsibility for your choices. At the heart of Stoicism lies the understanding that you are the captain of your own ship, navigating life's waters through the decisions you make. The Stoics believed that true empowerment comes from recognizing this agency, embracing accountability, and owning the consequences of your actions. Rather than blaming external factors or other people for your circumstances, this principle encourages you to look inward and ask, what could I have done differently? What can I learn from this experience? Imagine facing a setback at work, such as missing a deadline. Instead of pointing fingers or finding excuses, a Stoic would see this as a chance to reflect. Did you perhaps overcommit? Was there a lack of preparation or focus? By identifying the role your choices played, you not only grow but also gain the clarity needed to approach similar situations more effectively in the future. This shift from external blame to internal accountability fosters a mindset of growth and resilience, reminding us that while we cannot control outcomes, we can always control our response to them. Taking responsibility also means making deliberate, values-driven choices. How often do we act out of impulse, pressure, or convenience only to regret it later? A Stoic would counsel us to pause and reflect before acting, asking whether a decision aligns with our principles and long-term goals. For example, when faced with a tempting but unhealthy habit, like binge-watching shows late into the night, consider whether this choice will serve or hinder your well-being. By taking responsibility in such moments, you practice self-discipline and strengthen your ability to live in accordance with what truly matters to you. This principle is not about self-criticism or dwelling on past mistakes. Instead, it is about using every choice as an opportunity to learn, grow, and better align your actions with your values. Think of it as a tool for self-mastery, a way to build a life that reflects your inner wisdom and intentions. By holding yourself accountable, you cultivate integrity and earn self-respect, which are cornerstones of a fulfilling life. Reflecting on this Stoic rule, how might taking greater responsibility for your choices change the way you approach challenges or setbacks? What small steps can you take today to ensure your decisions reflect the person you aspire to be? Embracing this principle allows you to steer your life's course with greater confidence and purpose, knowing that each choice shapes the path ahead. With this understanding of accountability, we now turn to another vital Stoic principle, the power of daily reflection as a tool for growth and self-awareness. With the next phase of the journey in sight, let us explore the transformative Stoic practice of daily reflection. At the end of each day, the Stoics encourage taking a quiet moment to look inward and evaluate your thoughts, actions, and decisions. This simple yet profound habit helps you gain clarity, learn from your experiences, and align yourself more closely with your principles. Imagine setting aside just a few minutes each evening to ask yourself, what did I do well today? Where could I have done better? Did my actions align with the person I aspire to be? These questions serve as a compass guiding you toward continuous improvement. Consider the example of dealing with a challenging interaction during the day. Perhaps a colleague or friend snapped at you and your response was less than ideal. By reflecting that evening, you might recognize an opportunity to have approached the situation with more patience and understanding. This realization not only helps you course correct, but also prepares you to handle similar encounters with greater wisdom in the future. Reflection, in this sense, is like polishing a mirror. It clears away the fog of emotion and impulsivity, allowing you to see your true self more clearly. To make this practice even more impactful, many Stoics advocate for journaling your reflections. Writing down your thoughts can help organize them, making it easier to spot patterns or recurring challenges in your behavior. For instance, you might notice that stress often leads you to act against your principles, prompting you to seek practical ways to manage it proactively. A journal becomes a space of accountability, a tangible record of your growth, lessons learned, and aspirations for the future. The beauty of this practice lies in its simplicity. You do not need elaborate techniques or hours of meditation. Just a few honest moments with yourself each day can foster incredible self-awareness and personal development. Over time, these reflections help you live more intentionally, with each day building a stronger foundation for the next. As the Stoic philosopher Seneca once suggested, living without reflection is like navigating without a map. How might your life change if you committed to reflecting daily? What insights could you uncover about yourself, and how might they shape the way you approach tomorrow? By embracing this practice, you create a habit of growth and mindfulness, qualities that form the bedrock of a fulfilling life. Now turning to the next rule, we delve into the Stoic approach to maintaining emotional balance and avoiding being overwhelmed by emotions. Now turning to the Stoic rule of avoiding being overwhelmed by emotions, we uncover techniques that enable resilience and clarity even in the most challenging situations. The Stoics believed that emotions in themselves are not the enemy. It is when we allow them to dominate our actions and decisions that problems arise. Emotional balance is about recognizing your feelings without letting them control you. Imagine facing a situation that triggers anger or frustration, like being stuck in traffic or receiving critical feedback at work. Instead of reacting impulsively, pause and ask yourself, is this within my control? This simple question can shift your perspective, helping you focus on what you can influence rather than being consumed by what you cannot. One powerful Stoic technique is the practice of observing your emotions as though you are outside of them. Picture your anger or anxiety as a passing cloud rather than a permanent storm. Acknowledge its presence, but do not let it linger longer than necessary. Another method is to reframe your situation by considering how a wise mentor or friend might respond. For instance, when faced with disappointment, you could ask, how would someone I admire handle this? By adopting this external perspective, you create space between the emotion and your response, allowing you to act rationally instead of reactively. Stoicism also encourages using breathing exercises to regain composure in moments of emotional turbulence. Deep, intentional breaths can calm your nervous system and bring you back to the present. For example, when anxiety starts to take hold, try breathing in deeply for a count of 4 and exhaling slowly for a count of 6. This practice anchors you in the moment, giving you the clarity to decide your next steps with a cool head. Another essential Stoic teaching is understanding that emotions are often fueled by our judgments and beliefs about situations, not the situations themselves. If a colleague takes credit for your idea, your anger might come from the belief that your value is tied to recognition. By challenging these underlying assumptions, you can reduce the intensity of the emotion. Ask yourself, is this belief serving me, or is it creating unnecessary suffering? Redirecting your focus to your actions and virtues rather than external validation empowers you to maintain emotional balance. In essence, avoiding being overwhelmed by emotions is not about suppressing or ignoring them, but rather mastering them through self-awareness and deliberate practices. These techniques equip you to face life's inevitable difficulties with grace and composure, allowing you to protect your peace of mind. As the Stoics understood, emotional stability is a strength that enables you to navigate life with wisdom and resilience. With this foundation of emotional balance, we now turn to another vital Stoic principle, the commitment to seeking wisdom continuously as a guide for growth and understanding. Now turning to the pursuit of seeking wisdom continuously, we delve into a core tenet of Stoic philosophy that values lifelong learning as a pathway to growth and understanding. The Stoics believed that wisdom is not a destination but a journey, an ongoing process of refining our knowledge and character. This commitment to seeking wisdom starts with humility, the recognition that no matter how much we know, there is always more to learn. Imagine approaching every conversation, book, or experience with the mindset of a student, eager to uncover insights that can shape your life for the better. One practical way to incorporate this principle into daily life is by dedicating time to self-reflection. Set aside a few minutes each evening to review your day, asking yourself what you learned and how you can apply that knowledge moving forward. For example, if you faced a challenging situation, consider what it taught you about patience or problem solving. Writing these reflections down can deepen your understanding and create a record of your personal growth over time. Another Stoic practice for seeking wisdom is to learn from others, not only from those you admire but also from those with differing perspectives. Conversations with people who see the world differently can broaden your horizons, challenging you to question your assumptions and refine your beliefs. The Stoics often emphasize the power of learning from mentors and role models, studying their strengths and applying those qualities in your own life. You might ask yourself, who inspires me and what can I learn from their actions or mindset? Reading is another powerful tool for continuous learning. The Stoics were avid readers, often returning to the works of great thinkers to extract timeless lessons. You can embrace this habit by exploring books, articles, or teachings that challenge and expand your thinking. For instance, reading about different philosophies, cultures, or self-improvement topics not only builds knowledge but also provides new perspectives that enrich your understanding of the world. Finally, apply what you learn. Knowledge without action is like preparing for a journey without ever taking the first step. The Stoics believed that wisdom is practical. It must guide how we live and interact with others. If you learn about the value of gratitude, practice it by expressing appreciation to someone in your life. If you discover a method for staying calm under pressure, actively use it in moments of stress. The more you integrate what you learn into your daily actions, the more wisdom becomes a natural part of who you are. In essence, seeking wisdom continuously is about cultivating a mindset of curiosity and growth. It is a commitment to evolve, to challenge your beliefs, and to embrace learning as a lifelong companion. This principle not only enriches your understanding, but also equips you with the tools to navigate life's complexities with clarity and purpose. With this dedication to growth established, let us now explore the importance of respecting others' opinions as we continue our journey through Stoic principles. Now turning to the importance of respecting others' opinions, we find a fundamental Stoic practice that emphasizes understanding and harmony. The Stoics believed that everyone views the world through the lens of their own experiences, values, and reasoning. By respecting differing opinions, we cultivate empathy and foster better communication, even when we disagree. This practice does not mean surrendering your own beliefs, but rather approaching conversations with an open mind and a willingness to listen. Imagine a debate where instead of focusing on proving someone wrong, you aim to understand why they think the way they do. This shift in perspective can transform conflict into an opportunity for connection and learning. One way to practice this is by pausing before responding in discussions. Take a moment to consider the other person's perspective and ask yourself what you can learn from their viewpoint. This pause not only helps you respond thoughtfully, but also shows respect for their ideas. For example, if someone criticizes a decision you made, instead of reacting defensively, try to understand their reasoning. Ask questions like, "What concerns you about this?" or "How do you think I could approach this differently?" Such questions invite constructive dialogue rather than escalating tension. The Stoics also teach us to remember that our opinions are not infallible. Just as others' views can be shaped by bias or incomplete information, so can our own. Adopting a mindset of humility allows us to see disagreements as a chance to refine our understanding rather than a challenge to our ego. This approach not only strengthens relationships but also sharpens our ability to think critically and objectively. However, respecting others' opinions does not mean losing sight of your own principles. The Stoics encourage us to hold firm to our core values, acting in alignment with what we believe to be right. For instance, if your ethical standards are challenged, you can calmly explain your stance without disregarding the other person's perspective. This balance of respect and integrity serves as a foundation for meaningful and respectful interactions. Incorporating this principle into daily life involves small but impactful actions. When engaging in conversations, especially on sensitive topics, focus on understanding rather than persuading. Acknowledge the validity of other viewpoints where possible, saying something like, "I see why you feel that way." Such statements not only show respect but also open doors to deeper, more productive discussions. Respecting others' opinions is a skill that can transform relationships and foster mutual growth. It is a reminder that wisdom involves not only knowing what you believe but also understanding why others believe differently. This practice strengthens both your character and your connections. Moving forward, let us explore the Stoic focus on being prepared for setbacks as we continue to navigate the path toward a fulfilling life. Now turning to the Stoic focus on being prepared for setbacks, we uncover a profound strategy for navigating life's inevitable uncertainties. The Stoics taught that challenges are not just possibilities but certainties. By anticipating potential hardships, we can lessen their emotional impact and respond to them with greater clarity and resilience. This practice, often referred to as premeditatio malorum, or the premeditation of evils, involves visualizing potential obstacles and preparing ourselves mentally and emotionally to face them. Imagine starting your day by briefly considering what could go wrong: a delayed meeting, a misunderstanding, or even unexpected bad news. Instead of fostering anxiety, this exercise strengthens your ability to remain calm and proactive when such events occur. Being prepared for setbacks does not mean dwelling on negativity or expecting the worst. Rather, it is a way to build your emotional strength by acknowledging life's unpredictability. For instance, if you are preparing for an important presentation, consider the possibility of technical issues or tough questions from the audience. By thinking through these scenarios, you can prepare solutions or responses in advance, reducing the likelihood of being caught off guard. The Stoics also remind us that setbacks often have a silver lining. They are opportunities to test and grow our character. When you face adversity, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? Or how can this challenge make me stronger? Viewing obstacles as chances to practice virtues like patience, courage, and adaptability transforms them from burdens into tools for personal growth. For example, if you miss out on a promotion at work, instead of focusing on disappointment, consider how the experience might refine your skills, strengthen your resolve, or open doors to new opportunities. Another key to being prepared is accepting that some things are beyond our control, such as the actions of others or unforeseen events. By shifting your focus to what you can control, your thoughts, actions, and reactions, you regain a sense of agency even in challenging situations. For instance, if a flight cancellation disrupts your travel plans, instead of stewing in frustration, focus on what can be done next. Can you rebook, adjust your schedule, or use the extra time productively? This mindset not only reduces stress but also empowers you to handle setbacks proactively. Practicing gratitude even during setbacks is another Stoic approach to resilience. Remind yourself of what remains within your life that is good and stable. This shift in perspective can provide comfort and strength, helping you navigate tough times with a more balanced outlook. As the Stoic philosopher Epictetus wrote, "It is not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." By embracing the possibility of setbacks and preparing yourself mentally and emotionally, you cultivate a mindset of flexibility and strength. This practice allows you to remain steady in the face of uncertainty, turning obstacles into stepping stones toward growth. Next, we will explore the Stoic teaching on limiting desires and how it can lead to contentment and self-mastery. Moving forward, the Stoic teaching on limiting desires offers a profound pathway to contentment and self-mastery. In a world that often equates happiness with acquiring more possessions, more recognition, or more wealth, the Stoics remind us that true peace comes not from accumulation but from wanting less. This principle shifts the focus from external abundance to internal sufficiency, encouraging us to appreciate what we already have instead of longing for what we do not. Imagine desiring fewer luxuries, fewer upgrades, or fewer status symbols, and instead cherishing the simplicity of what's already part of your life. By reducing the number of things we feel we need to be happy, we free ourselves from the perpetual cycle of craving and disappointment. The Stoic philosopher Seneca famously advised, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more that is poor." This statement underscores the idea that the root of dissatisfaction often lies not in actual lack, but in our insatiable yearning for more. For instance, consider someone who constantly upgrades their phone with every new release, believing that each purchase will bring greater satisfaction. Yet, the novelty fades and the cycle begins again. Now, contrast this with someone who uses their existing phone contentedly, focusing their time and energy on more meaningful pursuits. The latter experiences a peace of mind that money cannot buy. Limiting desires does not mean rejecting ambition or avoiding all pleasures in life. Instead, it is about recognizing which desires serve your well-being and which only create unnecessary stress and dissatisfaction. By deeply understanding the difference, you can make choices that align with your values and lead to a more fulfilling existence. For example, you might desire a stable income to support your family, which is a reasonable and purposeful goal. However, endlessly chasing extravagant wealth purely for status can lead to exhaustion and emptiness. Limiting desires in this way does not restrict you. It liberates you from the tyranny of wanting what ultimately does not matter. Another powerful Stoic exercise tied to this teaching is practicing gratitude. When you pause to reflect on what you already have, whether it is health, relationships, or even the most basic comforts, you shift your mindset from lacking to abundance. Instead of focusing on what is missing, you begin to see how full your life truly is. For instance, after a long day, you could feel frustrated about the errands left undone, or you could express gratitude for having a safe home to return to and the means to address those tasks another time. This subtle shift in perspective transforms daily frustrations into moments of appreciation. By limiting desires and placing value on what you have rather than what you lack, life becomes simpler and far more focused. You no longer chase after fleeting pleasures or external validations, but instead cultivate a sense of inner wealth. This practice not only lightens the mental burden of always wanting more, but also deepens your ability to enjoy the present moment fully. Next, we will explore the Stoic emphasis on using reason to guide your actions and how it can help you make thoughtful, deliberate choices in life. Now, turning to the Stoic emphasis on using reason to guide your actions, we uncover a principle that champions the power of rational thinking in navigating life's complexities. At its core, Stoicism teaches that deliberate, thoughtful decisions grounded in reason lead to better outcomes and greater peace of mind. Life often presents situations where emotions threaten to take the wheel, whether it is anger during an argument, fear in the face of uncertainty, or excitement that clouds judgment. The Stoics remind us that while emotions are natural, they should not dictate our actions. Instead, reason acts as a steady compass, helping us respond wisely rather than react impulsively. Imagine encountering a difficult colleague at work who consistently tests your patience. The immediate emotional urge might be to lash out or harbor resentment. However, by pausing and applying reason, you can assess the situation objectively. Perhaps you recognize that their behavior stems from personal stress rather than malice. With this perspective, you might choose to respond with calmness or even compassion, preserving your peace and possibly improving the dynamic. This approach not only diffuses tension but also strengthens your character by exercising self-control. A practical way to incorporate reason into your actions is by asking yourself 3 simple questions before making a decision. Is this aligned with my values? Will this choice serve my long-term well-being? What are the possible consequences of my action? Taking a moment to reflect on these questions often reveals whether a choice is rational or impulsive. For instance, consider the temptation to make an extravagant purchase on a whim. While the initial thrill might be enticing, reasoning through the decision might uncover that the money could be better allocated towards something meaningful, like an experience with loved ones or a future goal that aligns with your values. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus reminds us that we are not disturbed by things but by the views we take of them. This insight underscores the importance of rational interpretation. When faced with challenges, it is not the external event itself that causes distress, but how we perceive and respond to it. For example, getting stuck in traffic could be seen as infuriating, or it could be reframed as an opportunity to practice patience or listen to an educational podcast. By using reason to shift your perspective, you maintain control over your emotional response and turn potential frustration into growth. Using reason to guide your actions does not mean suppressing emotions or becoming detached. Rather, it is about creating harmony between emotion and intellect, allowing each to play its proper role. Emotions can signal what matters to you, but reason ensures you act in ways that align with your principles and long-term goals. This balance leads to decisions that are not only effective but also deeply satisfying. By cultivating this habit, you build a life characterized by clarity, intention, and resilience. As you embrace the Stoic practice of using reason to navigate life, you develop a steadiness that allows you to remain composed and deliberate even in the face of chaos. Next, we will delve into the Stoic teaching on accepting the natural order and how living in harmony with the universe can bring profound peace and understanding. Now turning to the Stoic teaching of accepting the natural order, we explore a principle that invites us to live in harmony with the universe and embrace our role within it. At its heart, this teaching reflects the Stoic belief that the world operates according to a rational and interconnected design, and our peace of mind depends on aligning ourselves with this greater flow. The Stoics remind us that many aspects of life are beyond our control, whether it is the circumstances of our birth, the actions of others, or even the inevitability of change. Resisting these realities only leads to frustration, while acceptance fosters serenity and resilience. The natural order does not imply passive resignation, but rather a deep understanding of the rhythms and patterns of life. Imagine weathering an unexpected setback, such as losing a job or facing a failed relationship. While it is natural to feel disappointment, the Stoic approach encourages us to see such events as part of life's unfolding rather than as personal injustices. By accepting what has occurred, you free yourself from unnecessary suffering caused by resistance. This acceptance allows you to focus your energy on what you can control, your response, your attitude, and your next steps forward. A powerful way to practice this principle is to reflect on nature itself. Consider how rivers flow toward the sea, how seasons change predictably, and how every living being fulfills its purpose in a delicate balance. These examples remind us that we are part of a broader system where challenges and changes are intrinsic to growth. Just as trees adapt to the wind and plants endure the cycle of drought and rain, we too must adapt to the reality of our lives. This does not mean passivity, but a willingness to move with the current rather than against it, to learn from adversity and to trust in the unfolding of time. The Stoics often emphasize that harmony with the natural order begins internally, with the alignment of our thoughts and actions. Marcus Aurelius reflected on this, urging us to conduct ourselves in accordance with reason, which is the law of nature. This means living with integrity, practicing virtues like patience and courage, and recognizing that our role is not to control the world, but to contribute meaningfully within it. When faced with difficult situations, ask yourself, am I approaching this with acceptance and adaptability, or am I resisting what cannot be changed? This simple shift in perspective can transform your experience from one of struggle to one of growth. Living in accordance with the natural order also cultivates gratitude. When you accept life's impermanence and interconnectedness, you come to appreciate the beauty of each moment, no matter how fleeting. You recognize that even obstacles have their place, teaching valuable lessons and shaping your character. The Stoic philosophy teaches that finding peace is not about bending the universe to your will, but about understanding your place within it and embracing its flow with dignity and grace. As you adopt the practice of accepting the natural order, you may find a profound sense of calm and purpose, knowing that you are part of something greater. Moving forward, we will delve into the Stoic practice of building resilience and how it empowers us to thrive even in the face of adversity. Moving forward, we arrive at the Stoic principle of building resilience, a cornerstone of mental fortitude that equips us to thrive even in the face of life's greatest challenges. Resilience, in Stoic terms, is not about avoiding adversity, but about developing the strength to endure and grow from it. The Stoics viewed hardship as a natural part of life, a testing ground for our character, and an opportunity to practice their virtues. They understood that while we cannot control the storms that come our way, we can control how we navigate through them. To build resilience, the first step is to shift your mindset. Rather than seeing obstacles as threats, begin to view them as opportunities to grow stronger and wiser. Imagine facing a difficult situation, like an unexpected financial burden or a personal loss. While these experiences are undeniably painful, the Stoics encourage us to ask, what can I learn from this? How can I respond with courage and wisdom? By reframing challenges in this way, you reduce their power to overwhelm you and instead use them to fortify your spirit. Another key practice in fostering resilience is preparation. The Stoics believed in anticipating difficulties, not to dwell on them, but to be mentally ready when they arise. Marcus Aurelius advised himself daily to expect encounters with difficult people or circumstances, reminding us that forethought sharpens our ability to respond calmly and effectively. Take a moment each morning to visualize potential hurdles in your day and plan how you will address them with patience and composure. Developing resilience also means nurturing emotional balance. The Stoics taught that while it is natural to feel disappointment, fear, or frustration, we should not let these emotions dominate us. Instead, practice grounding yourself in reason. For instance, if a project at work falls apart despite your best efforts, you might feel discouraged. but by focusing on what you can control, like learning from the experience and adapting your approach, you redirect your energy toward progress rather than despair. Building resilience is not only about reacting to difficulties, but also about proactively strengthening your inner resources. Engage in habits that cultivate self-discipline, such as setting small, achievable goals and gradually taking on greater challenges. This consistent effort builds confidence in your ability to handle setbacks. Similarly, practices like mindfulness and gratitude can anchor you in the present moment, providing a sense of calm even when life feels overwhelming. Reflecting on past hardships that you have overcome can also remind you of your strength and capacity to persevere. The Stoics often likened life to the training of an athlete who grows stronger with each workout. Just as the body develops through resistance, so does the mind. Resilience is built incrementally through every challenge you face and every trial you endure. By embracing adversity as a teacher, you cultivate a spirit that remains unshaken, no matter what life throws your way. As you integrate the Stoic principle of resilience into your life, you will begin to notice profound changes. Situations that once seemed insurmountable will feel manageable. You will approach difficulties with greater clarity and strength, knowing that they are shaping you into a more capable and grounded individual. With this foundation of resilience in place, let us turn to the Stoic value of treating others with fairness and acting justly in all our interactions. Now turning to the Stoic value of treating others with fairness, we delve into the principle of justice, a cornerstone of Stoic ethics that emphasizes acting virtuously in all interactions. Justice for the Stoics meant more than adhering to laws or societal norms. It was about striving to do what is right and equitable, regardless of personal gain or recognition. It calls for a mindset that places fairness and the well-being of others at the heart of our actions, reminding us that we are all interconnected as part of the human community. Imagine a scenario where a colleague takes credit for your hard work on a project. While frustration might be the natural response, the Stoics encourage us to focus not on vengeance or resentment, but on maintaining our integrity. How might we respond in a way that upholds justice and fairness? This could mean calmly addressing the situation with honesty, seeking resolution without hostility or malice. By prioritizing fairness over ego, you demonstrate true strength of character. Acting justly also involves resisting the temptation to judge others harshly. The Stoics remind us that every individual is shaped by their own experiences and struggles, which we often cannot see. When someone behaves poorly, rather than rushing to condemn, consider extending empathy and understanding. As Marcus Aurelius advised, approach others with the recognition that they, like you, are striving in their own imperfect way. Justice is not limited to grand gestures or monumental decisions. It is woven into the fabric of our daily lives. Small choices like giving credit where it is due, treating service workers with kindness, or standing up for someone being treated unfairly reflect the Stoic commitment to fairness. These seemingly minor acts create ripples of goodwill that extend far beyond the immediate moment. Furthermore, the principle of justice also calls for self-examination. Are we being fair not only to others but to ourselves? This means treating yourself with the same respect and consideration that you strive to show others. Avoid excessive self-criticism or perfectionism, and instead practice self-compassion while holding yourself accountable for growth and improvement. By embodying justice in all our interactions, we create a sense of harmony within and around us. The Stoics believed that a just society begins with just individuals. When we act fairly, we inspire fairness in others, strengthening the bonds that unite us as a community. With justice as a guiding principle, we can navigate even the most complex relationships with integrity and grace. Now, as we continue our exploration of Stoic principles, let us turn to the importance of speaking wisely and cultivating meaningful communication. Now turning to the importance of speaking wisely, the Stoics teach us that our words hold immense power and should never be used carelessly. They believe that meaningful and deliberate communication is a reflection of a disciplined mind and a virtuous character. Consider the times when idle chatter or impulsive remarks have led to misunderstandings or even conflict. The Stoic approach cautions us against this, urging us to speak only when our words are necessary, true, and beneficial. Picture a moment when frustration tempts you to lash out during an argument. Instead of reacting impulsively, the Stoic practice would guide you to pause, reflect, and choose words that diffuse tension rather than escalate it. This doesn't mean suppressing your thoughts, it means expressing them with clarity and respect, ensuring your message is constructive rather than harmful. Another essential aspect of speaking wisely is avoiding gossip, which the Stoics regarded as not only unproductive but also damaging to one's character. Engaging in gossip often erodes trust and spreads negativity, impacting not just others but also your own mental peace. Instead, focus on conversations that uplift, educate, or solve problems, contributing to a more positive and meaningful dialogue. Marcus Aurelius once reminded us to be silent unless what we have to say improves the silence. This timeless wisdom encourages us to evaluate the impact of our words before we speak, ensuring they align with our values and intentions. Moreover, speaking wisely also involves active listening. By truly hearing others without interrupting or preempting their thoughts, we not only show respect but also gain deeper insights. This fosters better understanding and strengthens relationships, underscoring the Stoic belief that meaningful communication is as much about listening as it is about speaking. And when the time does come to speak, let your words reflect patience, reason, and kindness. The Stoics remind us that what we say and how we say it reveal much about our character. By choosing our words carefully, we cultivate trust, inspire respect, and contribute to a world where dialogue brings people together rather than driving them apart. As we continue exploring Stoic principles, let us now delve into the practice of forgiveness and understand why the Stoics believed in letting go of grudges for the sake of inner peace. Now turning to the practice of forgiveness, the Stoics teach us the profound importance of letting go of grudges for the sake of inner peace. Holding onto resentment is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to suffer. It serves no purpose other than to weigh us down emotionally. The Stoics believed that forgiveness is not about absolving someone else of responsibility, but about freeing ourselves from the chains of anger and bitterness. Consider a moment when someone's actions hurt or disappointed you. It's natural to feel upset, but clinging to those feelings only prolongs the pain. By choosing to forgive, you reclaim control over your emotions and refuse to let negativity define your state of mind. Seneca reminds us that life is too short to harbor animosity, urging us instead to approach others with understanding and compassion. This does not mean condoning harmful behavior or forgetting past wrongs. It means recognizing that anger and grudges ultimately harm the one who holds them. Imagine a situation where a friend or colleague wronged you. Instead of replaying the scenario in your head and allowing it to consume your thoughts, the Stoic path encourages you to shift your focus to what you can control, your reaction. By forgiving, you prioritize your mental well-being over the fleeting satisfaction of resentment. Another key aspect of this principle lies in empathy. The Stoics often reminded themselves that everyone is flawed and prone to mistakes, including ourselves. When you view others through this lens, it becomes easier to extend grace and understanding. In doing so, you create space for healing, personal growth, and stronger relationships. Forgiveness is ultimately a gift you give to yourself, a way to unburden your heart and live in harmony with the present moment. As we continue to uncover the wisdom of the Stoics, let us now explore how appreciating small blessings can transform our perspective and bring more joy into our lives. Now turning to the idea of appreciating small blessings, The Stoics teach us to find joy in the ordinary and often overlooked moments of our lives. In a world that constantly pushes us to chase lofty goals or material possessions, it is easy to forget the simple pleasures that surround us every day. The warmth of the sun on your skin, the taste of your favorite meal, or even the kindness of a stranger, these small blessings hold immense power to uplift our spirits if we take a moment to notice them. For the Stoics, gratitude begins with mindfulness, the practice of being fully present and aware of what life offers in each moment. Marcus Aurelius famously encouraged reflection on the beauty of everyday things, reminding us that even the most mundane experiences have something unique to offer if viewed with the right perspective. Imagine starting your day by focusing on 3 small things you are grateful for: a smile from a loved one, the crisp morning air, or a moment of peace before the day begins. This simple practice can shift your mindset from scarcity to abundance, helping you see life as a series of gifts rather than a list of unmet desires. The Stoics believed that joy does not come from grand achievements, but from cultivating a deep appreciation for what you already have. They understood that true happiness resides not in acquiring more, but in cherishing the present. When you begin to value the small blessings in your life, you release yourself from the endless cycle of wanting and instead find contentment in what is here and now. This perspective not only enhances your sense of gratitude but also strengthens your resilience during difficult times. By focusing on the good, no matter how small, you maintain a sense of balance and positivity that can carry you through life's challenges. As we move forward, let us delve into the transformative power of learning from others and the wisdom it can bring to our personal growth. With the next phase of the journey in sight, we turn to the Stoic belief in the profound value of learning from others. The Stoics, ever humble in their pursuit of wisdom, understood that no one holds all the answers and that each person we encounter has something to teach us. By observing the strengths, mistakes, and experiences of those around us, we open ourselves to growth and insight that might otherwise remain elusive. Seneca, a renowned Stoic philosopher, often wrote about the importance of mentorship, emphasizing that the guidance of a wiser individual can illuminate paths we might not see on our own. Imagine engaging in a meaningful conversation with someone whose experiences differ greatly from yours. Through their stories, you gain perspectives that challenge your assumptions and broaden your understanding of the world. But learning from others goes beyond formal mentorship. It includes collaboration and a willingness to listen deeply. Even ordinary interactions, when approached with curiosity and respect, can offer valuable lessons. For instance, a coworker might demonstrate an approach to problem solving you've never considered, or a friend's resilience in tough times might inspire you to face your own challenges with greater courage. The Stoics remind us to approach every encounter with an open mind, treating others not as competitors but as fellow travelers on the journey of life. By embracing the wisdom of those around us, we not only enrich our own lives but also foster connections that uplift and inspire. This practice builds humility, as it requires us to acknowledge that we do not have all the answers, and it encourages a spirit of continuous learning. As we continue, let us explore how the Stoic mindset views adversity not as a hindrance but as an opportunity for growth and resilience. With the next phase of the journey in sight, let us delve into the Stoic principle of viewing adversity as an opportunity for growth. To the Stoics, life's challenges were not obstacles to happiness but essential stepping stones on the path to wisdom and resilience. Marcus Aurelius, often regarded as one of the most practical Stoic philosophers, believed that every difficulty we face is an opportunity to strengthen our character and practice the virtues of patience, courage, and perseverance. Imagine encountering a challenging situation, like losing a job or facing a personal setback. While it is natural to feel frustration or disappointment initially, the Stoic perspective urges us to see these moments as invitations to grow. By asking ourselves, what can I learn from this, or how can I respond in a way that aligns with my values, we shift our focus from feeling overwhelmed to taking constructive action. The Stoics remind us that our power lies not in controlling external events, but in controlling how we respond to them. For example, a person struggling with a serious health issue might find strength by adopting a mindset of acceptance and focusing on what they can do to improve their situation, rather than lamenting what is beyond their control. This approach not only fosters resilience but also cultivates a sense of empowerment. Another vivid example can be drawn from athletes who, despite injuries or defeats, use their setbacks as fuel to train harder and come back stronger. This mentality is the essence of the Stoic philosophy, transforming life's hardships into opportunities for self-improvement. When viewed through this lens, adversity becomes less of a burden and more of a chance to practice the principles of Stoicism in real time. By embracing challenges with a calm and determined mindset, we not only navigate difficulties more effectively, but also emerge from them more capable and self-assured. As we transition forward, let us now explore how the Stoics understood the fleeting nature of material wealth and why they believed true fulfillment lies elsewhere. With the next phase of the journey in sight, let us delve into the Stoic understanding of material wealth and why they cautioned against overvaluing it. To the Stoics, wealth was not inherently good or bad. Instead, it was a tool useful but ultimately neutral. They believed that true happiness and fulfillment come not from accumulating possessions but from cultivating inner virtues like wisdom, courage, and self-discipline. Consider this: if a person finds their identity and self-worth entirely tied to the amount of money they earn or the things they own, they risk losing their sense of purpose when those external markers fade or disappear. The Stoics taught that wealth, while potentially beneficial, should never define our value as individuals. For example, Marcus Aurelius, one of history's most powerful rulers, constantly reminded himself that his imperial status and material possessions were fleeting. He chose to focus instead on living a virtuous life, knowing that riches could not guarantee peace of mind or moral integrity. Similarly, Seneca, a Stoic philosopher who was also immensely wealthy, warned against becoming a slave to wealth. He argued that wealth should serve us, not the other way around, and that its pursuit should never distract us from what truly matters, living in harmony with our values. It is worth considering how this perspective applies to modern life, where the relentless chase for material success often leads to stress, dissatisfaction, or strained relationships. By adopting the Stoic mindset, we can shift our focus from what we possess to how we live. For instance, instead of seeking happiness in the latest gadgets or luxury items, we might find greater contentment in nurturing meaningful relationships or developing skills that enrich our lives. This approach does not mean rejecting wealth altogether, but rather placing it in its proper context as a means to support a life of purpose and virtue, not an end in itself. As we reflect on this wisdom, we are reminded that true fulfillment comes from within, not from the accumulation of external possessions. With this insight, let us now explore the importance of mastering our thoughts and how this practice shapes our perception of the world. With the next phase of the journey in sight, let us delve into the transformative power of mastering our thoughts, a cornerstone of Stoic philosophy. The Stoics believed that our thoughts shape our reality. They taught that external events are not inherently good or bad. It is our interpretation of them that determines their impact on us. By mastering our thoughts, we can foster a mindset that is both positive and rational, allowing us to navigate life's challenges with clarity and composure. Imagine encountering a difficult situation, perhaps a disagreement with a close friend or a setback at work. Without control over our thoughts, it is easy to spiral into negativity or rash decisions, which only escalate the problem. However, by consciously guiding our thoughts, we can pause, reflect, and respond with reason rather than emotion. This practice not only leads to better outcomes but also cultivates inner peace. Epictetus, a revered Stoic philosopher, famously said, It is not what happens to you but how you react to it that matters. This wisdom reminds us that while we cannot control every event in our lives, we have complete authority over how we think about and respond to those events. For example, instead of fixating on the discomfort of a rainy day, a Stoic might choose to view it as an opportunity for reflection or a chance to enjoy indoor pursuits. Similarly, if faced with criticism, rather than dwelling on feelings of hurt or anger, one could focus on whether the critique contains any useful insights for growth. Mastering our thoughts does not mean suppressing emotions or ignoring difficulties, but recognizing that we have the power to shift our perspective and choose thoughts that align with reason and resilience. Through consistent practice, this ability becomes second nature. In modern life, this skill is particularly valuable as we are constantly bombarded by information and opinions that can cloud our judgment or stir unnecessary worry. By cultivating a disciplined mind, we can filter out distractions and focus on what truly matters. Techniques such as mindfulness meditation or journaling can be helpful tools to observe and refine our thought patterns. As we embrace this Stoic principle, we unlock the potential to approach life with greater balance, confidence, and serenity. With that in mind, let us now turn to another essential virtue in the Stoic toolkit, the strength and beauty of kindness. Now turning to the next cornerstone of Stoic wisdom, we explore the profound strength found in kindness. Stoicism teaches us that kindness is not a weakness but a deliberate act of courage and virtue. In fact, it requires immense strength to remain kind in a world that often tests our patience and resolve. The Stoics believed that kindness is both a moral duty and a practical tool for fostering harmony in our relationships and communities. Acting kindly does not mean allowing others to take advantage of you or tolerating injustice. It means choosing to extend generosity, understanding, and compassion even when circumstances make it difficult. Imagine encountering a rude stranger or an impatient colleague. It is easy to mirror their negativity, resulting in unnecessary tension or conflict. However, choosing to respond with kindness, perhaps offering a calm and thoughtful reply, can diffuse the situation and prevent it from escalating further. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and one of Stoicism's most celebrated figures, advised, "Kindness is invincible if it is sincere, not fawning or pretended." This timeless insight teaches us that true kindness stems from genuine concern for others, untainted by ulterior motives or expectations of reward. By practicing kindness daily, whether it is through small gestures like helping someone carry groceries, offering a word of encouragement, or simply listening attentively, we not only uplift those around us but also strengthen our own character. Kindness aligns us with the Stoic virtues of justice and wisdom, as it reflects fairness and an understanding of our shared human experience. Moreover, the ripple effect of kindness cannot be understated. A simple act of goodwill can inspire others to extend kindness in return, creating a chain reaction that fosters positivity. It transforms not only individual lives but also the broader community. In moments of frustration or adversity, we can remind ourselves that being kind costs nothing but can yield priceless rewards. When we embrace kindness as a way of life, we contribute to a world that is not only more connected but also more resilient. With this understanding of kindness as a vital Stoic principle, let us now move toward another critical aspect of this philosophy, the importance of living with purpose. With the next phase of the journey in sight, we delve into the Stoic emphasis on living with purpose. At the heart of Stoicism lies a profound question: what is your purpose in life? The philosophy urges us to define it clearly and to align our actions with this sense of purpose every single day. A life driven by purpose is not aimless or reactive. It is intentional, meaningful, and focused. The Stoics believed that understanding your purpose means recognizing your unique role in the world and contributing to the greater good. They taught that a purposeful life is guided by virtues like wisdom, courage, justice, and self-discipline. Imagine waking up each morning with a clear understanding of what truly matters to you, unburdened by distractions or trivial concerns. This clarity empowers you to make choices that reflect your deepest values. Consider the example of Seneca, a renowned Stoic philosopher and statesman who often reflected on the fleeting nature of time. He reminded us that our time is our most precious resource, and wasting it on activities that do not serve our purpose is one of life's greatest losses. To live with purpose means to prioritize activities that align with your core values and long-term goals, rather than being swayed by fleeting pleasures or societal expectations. For instance, if your purpose involves helping others, this might mean dedicating time to volunteer work, mentoring, or simply being a reliable friend or family member. If your purpose is to create or innovate, then each decision you make should bring you closer to realizing that vision. Purpose acts as your compass, steering you through the inevitable challenges and trials of life with resilience and determination. It provides the strength to persevere when faced with obstacles, offering a sense of fulfillment that material success alone can never achieve. The Stoics also caution us against procrastination, emphasizing that the time to act on our purpose is now. Tomorrow is uncertain, and the opportunities presented today may never come again. By taking even small, consistent steps toward your purpose, you build momentum and create a life that reflects the principles you hold dear. Living with purpose does not require grand gestures or monumental achievement. It is about making deliberate choices that honor your true self and the role you wish to fulfill in the world. As we embrace the Stoic wisdom of living with purpose, we create a life filled with intention, meaning, and a deep sense of fulfillment. And so, with this understanding, we now turn to the final cornerstone of Stoicism, the power of perseverance through hardship. With the next phase of the journey in sight, we now delve into the Stoic cornerstone of perseverance through hardship. Life, by its very nature, is filled with challenges, adversities, and moments of profound difficulty. The Stoics believed that it is not the challenges themselves that define us, but how we respond to them. Perseverance, in the Stoic sense, is the unwavering commitment to endure and grow stronger, no matter what obstacles come our way. Consider the example of Epictetus, who was born into slavery and faced immense physical and emotional suffering throughout his life. Despite these hardships, he rose to become one of the most influential Stoic philosophers in history, teaching that our circumstances do not dictate our character, our choices do. His story reminds us that no matter how difficult life becomes, we always have the power to choose resilience over despair. Similarly, Marcus Aurelius, a Roman emperor who carried the weight of leading an empire during times of war and plague, found solace and strength in his Stoic principles. He viewed each hardship not as a curse, but as an opportunity to exercise virtues like patience, courage, and fortitude. He once wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." This profound insight teaches us that adversity is not something to be feared, but rather something to be embraced as a chance to grow. Perseverance also requires a shift in perspective. The Stoics remind us that hardships are temporary, but the lessons learned from enduring them can last a lifetime. They encourage us to focus not on what we have lost, but on what we can gain through persistence. For instance, when faced with failure rather than succumbing to frustration, a Stoic would ask, "What can I learn from this? How can I use this experience to improve?" This mindset transforms challenges into stepping stones for growth. Another vital aspect of Stoic perseverance is the practice of patience. The Stoics understood that progress often takes time and that rushing the process only leads to unnecessary suffering. By accepting the natural pace of life, we cultivate the strength to keep going, even when results seem far off. To persevere through hardship also means to trust in your ability to endure. As Seneca wisely put it, difficulties strengthen the mind as labor does the body. Each challenge you face and overcome becomes proof of your resilience. building an inner reservoir of strength that prepares you for future trials. Imagine yourself standing firm like a tree in a storm, its roots deep and unyielding, weathering the toughest winds yet standing taller and stronger once the storm passes. Perseverance is not about avoiding hardship, but about facing it with courage, learning from it, and emerging stronger on the other side. And so, as we embrace this final Stoic lesson, let us remember that it is through perseverance, through the act of rising every time we fall, that we carve a life of resilience, fulfillment, and unshakable strength. Now, as we bring this exploration of Stoic principles to a close, let us reflect on how these timeless teachings can guide us toward a more purposeful and meaningful life. As the sun sets on this journey through the 50 Stoic Rules, we are left with profound wisdom that has the power to transform our lives. These principles remind us that a fulfilling life is not found in fleeting pleasures or external achievements, but in cultivating virtues, mastering our emotions, and embracing challenges as opportunities for growth. By focusing on what we can control, living in the present moment, and persevering through hardship, we can develop the resilience and inner peace to navigate life's complexities. Reflect for a moment. Of all the rules we've explored, which one resonates with you the most? Perhaps it's the practice of gratitude, the discipline of aligning actions with values, or the strength to view adversity as a teacher. Whatever it may be, take it as a starting point, a small step toward a more Stoic way of living. Remember, philosophy is not just about understanding, but about action. Begin by applying one rule to your daily life and watch how it shapes your thoughts, decisions, and overall perspective. These timeless teachings are a guide, a map to help us find purpose and meaning even in the face of life's greatest challenges. If this journey has inspired you, be sure to like this video, share it with those who might benefit, and subscribe to the channel for more insights into living a Stoic life. Let's continue to explore this path together, one step at a time, as we strive to live with wisdom, courage, and virtue. Thank you for watching, and here's to a life of fulfillment guided by the enduring principles of Stoicism.